Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chapter 10 of the VTM Mysteries. Um, in the last episode, we ended the night, and we did our roles for the new night. And it is about 3 hours until the radio show is supposed to start. Let's meet our vampires.
I'm Kat, and I play Rave.
I'm Sage, and I play Nate Thomas.
And I'm Sako, and I will be playing Diane Aziz.
And I am Jayce. I will be the storyteller. This session, we may get Jinne, we may not. It all depends on a sudden family thing that came up. We will just assume for now that she will not be available for this episode. And Dahlia also had a family thing come up. So we are short her as well. But we will carry on. Carry on. You all notice as you're waking up that things are not the way you were expecting them to be. You're moving. You are in the beds that you're used to, at least for the past couple of weeks. But the plane is moving.
I go to the cockpit.
And as you open the door to the cockpit, you see that you are in the air.
Is there anyone in the cockpit?
The pilot is in the cockpit, and you did pass the security officers that should be on duty at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But you are not in an airport.
Where are we going?
The pilot turns and says, "Yeah, we had to make a hasty getaway."
Oh.
Turns out your lovely friend that plays with the computers
Right.
has decided to rehack us.
Yeah.
So any backup we could get would be appreciated. Because as it stands, I don't know where we can land safely.
I see. Let me see what I can do. And I can use my phone up here, right?
Yes.
I call my herd.
All right. Yep, it is a
conference call if I can.
Yeah, they are right there. I only have one name for them.
I have 3 people. Let me bring it up real quick. Gave me things. And Diane, Mysteries, Tree, Brooke, Percy, and Lester.
Yeah, it was Lester is the one. I do have that tree. Okay. So yeah, you are on a group call with the 3 of them. They're like, what's up, boss?
We are currently being one. I'm honored you would call me boss. 2, we are currently trapped in the air as some technocratic hoo-ha is attempting to rehack us. We need protection.
All right. Send me your ISP so we can get a lock on you ourselves so we can get into your computer.
Great. I sit down at the console and I do exactly that.
And as you make contact with them, your screens start in a familiar way, jumping around and working by themselves.
Right.
As they start working their magic.
Hooray! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will totally pay you back for all of these things.
And there, Lester says, this will probably take us a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have the fuel and everything to be up in the air?
That's a great question. I asked the pilot, how much fuel do we have?
He's like, we can probably hang out for another hour and a half, 2 hours. We need to land. We've been up in the air for quite a while in a holding pattern around the city. So they're a little suspicious as well.
Oh, great. I forward that information.
Lester's like, I don't know what to tell you. This is some sophisticated work that this other person has done.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have anyone on the ground that can back you up?
I look at... Oh, sorry, my husband is using a blender.
At this point, Nate wakes up and walks in.
Rave is also just sitting there like, okay, what do I, no use here.
Someone want to fill us in?
Yes, I will totally fill you in.
All right, we filled in.
Filled in.
What about
you?
That shit. The oh my gosh, terminology, man. The person who we met, who took us to the prince.
Kadir?
Kadir. What did you call that?
You do have his number.
The Camarilla in New York. We don't know how they can support us, but I suppose we could try.
All right. You're going to make that call?
I am going to make that call. Thank you, Lester, and I will watch eagerly as you do your work.
All right.
New phone.
New call.
New call, yeah.
Click.
Kadir.
It's Diane, Aziz. We met last night.
Oh, yes, I do remember you. Is that your plane that's got everyone in a tizzy?
Yes, we were being hunted, and our plane was hacked, and we don't have a place to land. Do you have a suggestion on where we can go?
Yeah, tell you what, land back at the airport that we met, and we'll bring backup.
Okay.
Because I think whoever is probably tracking you probably doesn't think that they're going to be coming up against an army.
You would bring an army for us?
The prince said that our resources are yours as long as you're working on this problem.
Well, hopefully we won't break any masquerade issues. I know that you're sensitive towards that sort of thing.
Oh, we won't be breaking any masquerade issues or problem. Wow, I can't word. Masquerade things. Because we're not actually going to be a very visible presence. We're just going to be a lot of people.
Okay. Okay. That will, we appreciate the help. I look to the pilot and let him know that we can go back to the airport and we have support.
Excellent. He's like, oh, thank God. And he starts making the arrangements to land there. But yeah, he's like, it'll be probably a half hour before we get clearance and can actually land. And as you're talking, Pan comes into the room, and you can hear his stomach growling. Because as we learned at the end of last episode, he's on hunger 4 right now.
No.
That's
Get him.
that's fun. I'm going to take the opportunity to ask, is Elizabeth still with us?
Invisibeth, yes.
Okay.
She's been, what are you talking about? She's been in the cockpit with you the whole time.
I'm going to ask her to take this moment to apprise Philippe of our situation. I don't want to talk to him because I've got too much going on in my brain, but I trust Invisibeth to pass the information along.
Okay. Sorry.
I like
just gives me
you
the
in
giggles.
snack. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, so she nods and heads to the place where couches are, because that's a word that doesn't exist in my brain anymore either.
The lounge area? What
Yes.
do you
Oh,
The
Lordy.
lounge.
Was this episode a good idea?
call it? Really?
This would have made a really good drunk episode.
Oh, we should. Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez.
Oh, jeez.
If I didn't
Yeah.
have to work tomorrow,
I didn't have class at 4 o'clock.
Okay. So you've got about a half hour before landing.
The cash reservation. Sorry, go ahead.
Is there anything you want to do besides chilling during that time?
Perhaps. I mean, I'm going to be tracking what Lester is doing for sure. And I do mention the book to Nate and ask him what kind of progress he's made when he's, available.
So I have not made any progress since what we discussed last night.
Okay.
And if we are gearing up for battle, I don't suppose that now is a good time to be getting stuck into research. So I am going to go and prep my people for what may occur.
What may occur?
So, as you're watching, Diane, the monitors,
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing the three of them do shit that you didn't even think was possible. Like this,
Which is hilarious because I'm pretty good.
this is like technical acrobatics.
Nice.
And it's just things are bouncing between the three screens, like they are working as a fully organized unit.
Yay!
And then You hear the pilot say, "Okay, it's time to strap in for landing."
Oh boy. Put on my
Strappy,
seatbelt.
strappy.
All these the couches in the couch reservation have seatbelts.
Totally. Rave just sits on the floor. It's like, there's no seatbelt in here.
Yeah, landing is pretty decent, and when you once you land, you do see out the pilot's window that Kadir is waiting in the hangar for you.
Okay.
You just see him. That doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
Now, what is the plan for the group?
That's a wonderful question, considering I don't know if there are going to be warm bodies coming after us. And how many of those warm bodies are just normal people as opposed to creatures of the night, as it were.
So are you gonna get out and just talk to Kadir first?
Diane is, yes.
Anyone else?
Sorry. My mind was going like through things, but not speaking them. Rave will follow Diane.
Yep,
Makes sense.
as will Nate.
Should she be needed,
I
Rave will follow.
was gonna say, since Rave was kind of the assigned muscle.
Yeah, she needs to follow.
Okay, so you go out and Kadir is standing there, and he just says, "Ms. Aziz, Ms. Rave, Mr. Thomas." Wait, who are you? He doesn't say Mr. Thomas because he's never met Mr. Thomas.
That's right.
Hi, Nate Thomas. Pleased to meet you.
Okay. You're with this group?
Yep. For
And
my
you-
sins.
We had a meeting with the prince, and you weren't with us.
I was absorbed in research.
Research binge.
It's true.
Very true.
Just for the prince's clarification, who are you with?
Oh, sorry.
Right.
How rude of me. I was sent by Philippe of Montreal.
Oh, okay. So you're Cam too.
I am indeed.
Got it. Okay. And let's see. Research. That means. What's your clan?
I think it's quite evident that he's Tremere. You can tell just by, look at
I
him.
didn't want to assume.
He's kind of a walking, talking stereotype.
I mean, they took an interest in me for a reason.
Indeed.
Kadir gives just the briefest chuckle. He says, yeah, we have our people stationed at all the entrances
Okay.
to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
All the roads in, at least.
Right.
We have some Nosferatu perimeter sweeping. This place should be secure. But, yeah, as soon as you get all clear, we should reassess the situation.
Roger that.
Now, what was... And he's addressing you, but he's just like really confused. Now, you were flying around. Did you move airports?
Did we move airports?
Maybe.
No, at the end of the last chapter you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So she's been this. I keep giving him information that he doesn't have. This individual has been tracking you. Who are we dealing with?
Still don't know. Other than they are hunters.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So we need to be on guard for that. And he holds up his watch to his mouth and says, "Be on the lookout. We have hunters as a possibility." And then he goes back to you. What was the other airport you were in?
Great question.
Well, you can just tell him.
Yeah, I will tell him because Sako does not remember.
Neither does the storyteller because it was never specified.
We just went to an airport.
Yep.
We're never told.
JFK versus LaGuardia.
The characters know, the players do not.
Exactly. That is what I'm getting at here. So he's like, okay, I am going to contact some people over there and find out if anyone has been tracking you there.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I've interviewed some of the people here, and there has been no presence, like, on the lookout for any groups, any specific plane.
Okay, well, that's excellent news. However, they had tagged our plane.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much we can expect someone at least tracking us from a closet.
See, and he's quiet for a minute, and he's like, yeah, I don't trust this, but not in the way that you think. This person feels like if they have not been sending anyone to the locations, and they've been telling you that they're sending people to the locations.
I don't know if they've been telling us.
She's sending us on another wild goose chase.
Probably.
That's what I'm... Oh, she sent you on a wild goose chase before?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I suggest that one of you tell the story because Nate...
Van. We were tracking someone using a van we acquired by giving us the keys, though. We didn't steal it. But she didn't believe that. So she changed where a tracker was coming from my understanding, right?
Yes.
And then kind of took us on a wild goose chase instead of sending us where we needed to go, which was here.
Why is someone from the Second Inquisition playing with you instead of doing what they do?
I think she tried to recruit us.
Oh. It sounds like, and I think this will kind of nail it down for me if we don't see anyone show up again.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like she still has an interest in your group.
For some odd reason.
So, I don't know. It doesn't seem like she is intent on destroying you.
No, just annoying us.
Just jerking your chain.
Which means she's trying to get me to talk to her. And frankly, I'm not interested.
He chuckles again. Good luck.
Yeah.
He says, okay, so we have the perimeter. We will see what happens here. What's your plan?
I'm gonna make contact and see what it is that she wants. And see if I can draw them out.
Okay.
So she excuses herself and heads back into the plane and asks Lester to open a channel.
As soon as he lets down his guard, one of the screens switches over to the woman that you saw before.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "You're actually going to speak to me this time?"
Provided you talk back.
I've been talking back a lot.
Not. What do you want?
Like I said before, back in Nova Scotia, I needed to team up.
Team up against what?
Team up for the betterment of humankind.
Against what?
Against everything. I'm a researcher. I'm trying to make the world a better place.
And you think a couple of anarchs and a couple of Camarilla are going to help you destroy us? What's wrong with you?
Who said anything about destroying? That's not what I'm about. I'm a researcher.
Right, but you see, I know that you are not a self-contained entity. I know that you are part of a hive mind. And honestly, any contact with you would imply that you have... It's not so much that you have contact with them, but they have contact with you.
Oh, they don't know the half of what I do.
So you think.
So I know.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get into her head for a second there. I was like, wait. No, she's full of herself.
So you haven't told me yet what it is that you want. Why you keep putting us on these fucking wild goose chases and wasting our time. Does not leave a good taste in my mouth.
The first time was not a wild goose chase. I was bringing you to me.
There was nothing there.
That was a stop on the journey. Once you got back in, I was going to tell you where to find me. And you were going to come to me. And we would become friends. And
Aha! That is presumptuous.
well, we become allies. Because I am trying...
Defecting?
I don't know if it's so much defecting as using them.
I don't trust you. There's no qualms about it. I don't fucking trust you. And any contact with Second Inquisition is deadly. It doesn't matter how detached you seem to think you are.
Second Inquisition, is that what you're calling us?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, my goal is biological.
In what capacity?
Improving both the situation for your kind and my kind.
That still doesn't...
I'm trying to find out how to beat the sunlight issue.
Oh.
So that, and the blood dependence.
You're trying to cure vampirism. And you think we're going to help you.
Why is that a cure if you'd still have all those powers? You just wouldn't be a slave to the blood or the sun.
Why should we trust you?
I laid out my cards. That's what I'm trying to do.
I don't... And you want us to be your guinea pigs?
That's one way to put it.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking volunteers to assist my research for the betterment of human and vampire kind.
You were incredibly invasive when all you had to do was, one, not be a bitch, and two, just fucking be straight up and honest with us. And you couldn't be bothered to do either of those things. So if...
You couldn't be bothered to answer me when I was calling in the van.
You're also making assumptions that we're going to work with you. And what do we get out of it?
If I'm successful, you don't need to feed on people, and you don't have to worry about the sun.
That is not payment enough for becoming your guinea pigs.
And that's a big fucking if.
She sighs. She's like, I guess I have to find someone who is more approachable.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been paying attention to where you've been going and your movements.
Obviously.
And you're investigating the Hollow Plague. Or what they're calling the Hollow Plague.
Yes.
I'm going to give you something for free, a gift. Hawkminster Lodge is cleared out.
That does not surprise me.
No, and it shouldn't, but just, it's information for you for free. I couldn't get hold of any of the bodies for study. They all went to a different facility, which annoys me because I'm their best scientist and they cut me out of the deal.
So the Second Inquisition is investigating it as well.
well, it's new to them, and they want to know how the blank bodies figured it or found a new way to kill humans, which you and I both know had nothing to do with you. Because, as you know, I still have a tracker on a certain minivan. And since you're not going to help me, I am not going to help you. And I will be taking very much delight in figuring out his moves before the rest of you. And she hangs up.
She looks at anybody who is still on the plane, which I guess is nobody.
Nope. Here.
We're on the side.
I'm here.
She wanted to use us as guinea pigs.
I heard.
And now she wants to compete.
I say let her compete. As long as we're spending less time trying to evade whatever bullshit tactics she's throwing at us,
Indeed.
we can focus on. And I mean, I don't actually care if she figures things out before we do. We're working to the same goal, just from opposite ends. So
I concur.
if she hadn't been such a massive fucking bitch, I would not have been opposed to working with her. But there are ways to get a person's attention, and there are ways not to. And she can go and suck an entire duck.
This is what I'm thinking right now, too. It's a race! Wait, I shouldn't be excited about that, should I? Are you kidding? That's the best part about this.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand. Fuck her and the tracker she rode in on.
Well, I think she's got your car tagged, so we might want to do a once over on your car.
I mean, go for it.
And I've got my herd, my gang, as it were. Working.
You might want to check over Jeremy's car as well.
The production van, yeah.
The production van, yeah.
Just to be safe.
Okay. Well, I guess we can call off the fucking army.
I think so.
All right, let me go talk to him.
All right. Kadir is talking into his watch still in the hangar outside the plane.
She walks up to him and waits patiently for his attention.
As he turns around. Anyway.
XP to Raven.
Yeah.
He's like, so, what's the situation now?
The situation is she's not sending worker bees after us.
Was she ever?
Fuck if I know. But her plan is to sell the information to the Second Inquisition that she finds on the hollow bodies.
Then we need to get that information first.
Yes, we do. We can call off the army.
What do we have that she doesn't have?
The Tremere.
The book.
And the book.
Well,
So Rave
that
is just sitting on the ground right now and
Yeah.
just looking up at you guys.
And she looks at Rave and it's like, yeah, the book.
Yep.
And the
And,
obelisk thingy.
And the obelisk.
And the obelisk.
So
And a
weird.
radio show with which we intend to lure Rudy or whatever his name was.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Garland.
Mr. Garland, yeah.
So weird question. The photocopier in my room.
Mm-hmm.
Have we checked whether that's been hacked?
Photocopier. That means someone was on the plane, not just
Because photocopiers
inside
can
the-
be hacked.
Wi-Fi.
Uh-huh.
If you want
If they
to,
are on the network, they can.
if
be
you
hacked.
want to look, you can.
I will do a once over on the plane.
Well, when you get to the photocopier,
Mm-hmm.
old tech. This is not a new one. There is no like Ethernet or Wi-Fi on this baby.
Okay, then we've
It
got
is
nothing to worry about.
It's an old school photocopier.
Hooray!
But yeah, there is some, just from your experience, there is some stuff you wouldn't be able to find without like a scanner.
Right.
But you do.
But anything that's connected to the Wi-Fi, basically.
Well, here's the problem. The plane itself is connected to the Wi-Fi because that is new equipment. So, like the
the
pilot,
Internet of Things.
yeah, the pilot needs it in order to make the plane move now.
Right. Right. Okay.
Let's see. So you've got the console. You've got the pilot cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Elizabeth hands you her iPad.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
She's like,
I'm
please.
also gonna comb. Because it's because a lot of trackers are external pieces that have been like tacked on. She's gonna ask the security to help her like comb the outside of the plane and look for any devices that look like they might be trackers. Are they putting out a beacon or a signal of any kind?
Kadir will because what he's got right now is like physical security, not
Oh
internet
no, I'm
security.
talking about our plane
Oh.
security.
Oh, they are also physical security.
Yeah.
So when you tell them to check for bugs and stuff, they're just like, "What's a bug look like?"
It looks like a device that is not part of the plane.
If it doesn't look like it belongs, note it.
Call
Yeah.
me over and I will handle it.
They do not find anything.
Okay.
That doesn't
I
mean
owe
there.
you beer.
It doesn't mean there isn't anything. It means that to the untrained eye, nothing looks out of place.
Okay. Well, to the trained eye,
Also, nothing looks out of place. So if there is something, it's in, like, the fuselage or something. If there's something, it's hidden a lot better than you have time to do before the radio show.
Right, exactly.
You know that your hackers have some fantastic tool work if you wanted to take the plane back to South Africa.
Right, of course.
Did you say bye?
I'm like, I'm thinking,
I thought you were saying goodbye to somebody.
I look at Nate and Rave and say, hey, how about after the radio show? Because it's going to take time for Rudy to get to us. You know, I mean, he couldn't have gone far, right?
Wasn't he in Michigan?
He was in Upper Peninsula of Michigan a couple days ago.
A couple of days ago, yeah.
Who knows where the fuck he is
He
now?
could be anywhere at this point.
He could be anywhere, which is why we're trying to lure him out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question is at our first opportunity, we're gonna need to go back to South Africa so that I can have my team freaking wash this plane, basically.
I mean, I am not opposed to that. I don't know what Philippe would think of it.
Well,
But-
the difference being is you wouldn't have to introduce yourself to our Baron.
I mean, that's fair.
I would
would not
present you out of fucking
professional courtesy.
to my Baron. However, I think as far as professional courtesy goes, we should all be on the same page, as it were.
I agree with that. I think we're all on the same page, whether our higher ups are on the same page or not.
It's a totally different story.
Welcome to Vampire the Masquerade.
Welcome to Vampire the Masquerade.
Freaking politics.
And this is why I prefer to hang out with animals.
Honestly, I don't blame you.
Okay, so it is getting close to showtime, so it's about time to determine how you're going to travel there, who's going to go, what you're going to take with you.
Have we swept Kisara?
As well-
I'm attempting to.
Okay.
As well as you can in the time allotted.
Okay. So apparently I have to go.
Apparently.
It would be nice to know, but grumble, brackum, frackum.
You find out because no one actually told you, but there is a note on your
Door.
door saying, "Get dressed.
We need
for
to
the
leave."
show."
So yeah, apparently I have a radio appearance that I did not know about. Obviously Echo has to come with.
Yep. Echo is being Invisibeth right now.
Invisibeth.
That's fair enough. I'm going to say I probably need Jeremy to come with me.
That makes sense. He is definitely in that realm.
Because, like, if there is going to be any kind of collaboration between VTM Mysteries and whatever Venus's show and or radio station are called, because Nate knows, Sage does not. Jeremy would be the person to make those whatevers.
Decisions?
Stuffs and things.
Stuff
and
things. Yeah.
And as you're in the lobby talking to Jeremy, there is a knock on the outer door of the plane.
I have the security answer it.
It's Kadir.
Hello, Kadir.
May I come in?
Please.
Sure.
He comes in and just gives a nod to each of you. And it's like, Miss Elizabeth, wait, you have a kid here?
It's his plane.
It's convoluted and just ridiculous, really.
I keep forgetting he wasn't with us at the pet store.
He looks at Pan up and down, and he's just like, that is so against the law.
We didn't do it.
Wasn't us. When we found
We
him.
just got stuck
We
with
found
him.
him that way. We didn't do it.
In fact, he found us that way. And
I mean, that's also fair. We didn't find him, he found us.
yes.
And Kadir's like, kid, who made you? And Pan is just, his eyes are kind of glazed over. And he's just like, I don't fucking know.
Pan, language.
Same boat, buddy.
Kadir looks at him again. He's like, I understand. Kid's starving. Maybe, is there any problems with me taking him to the prince so that he can just have some food?
Well, I am aware that his existence is illegal, and I suspect your prince would have him executed. Granted, I can't say that I have an attachment to the boy.
Hey. He's like 12, man.
Right.
Kadir's like,
It's plain.
Kadir holds his hand up. He's like, I get it. I will see what I can do about getting something here.
That would be greatly appreciated.
I'll order the kids some takeout.
McDonald's.
Kentucky Fried Chicken and the Pizza Hut.
Rave's excuse is she's only a teenager, technically.
Do you want Invisibeth there?
There where? At the show?
The show.
Frankly, no. Because she creeps me the fuck out. She does not make things easier.
She does not make things easier, no.
She is very handy for getting in touch with Philippe, but otherwise, fuck no.
Oh my god, Raven just summed up Diane's view of of the situation as a whole.
Want him executed?
I don't want him executed, but honestly, if he was ...
Mind you, we're using his plane.
Well, it could be
Yeah.
our plane is the tricky part, so
Yeah. Yeah, except we have human staff who I assume get paid. So obviously Pan has some sort of financing, which we are not privy to. Logic, unfortunately.
Boo.
Boo. That's what you get for having a Tremere on the mission.
Yeah.
Yes, you take Pan out and you own a stationary cabin,
You own
Yep.
a stationary cabin. Yeah.
which will get towed out to a junkyard because it's also being
Non-payment of the hangar.
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so okay, no Invisibeth, no Pan, so it's just
No.
the 4
Mhm.
plus Jeremy,
Plus Jeremy.
and you're taking Kisara.
Yes. Yes, Kisara is a 7-seater, so we're fine.
Any equipment? He asks menacingly, like a safe spot in a video game.
Rave will take the hunting knife that's normally strapped to like her boot or something. It's on her somewhere.
Okay.
And her backpack, just because she likes her backpack.
She's gonna take her it's basically the size of an iPad, but it's a laptop. It's a actual computer. And
It's a Sailor Mercury computer.
I know, right? And then she'll take a pistol.
Cool.
I mean, the only equipment that Nate has is Kisara and a notepad, so
The notepad is important.
the notepad is important. If I've learned anything from old detective movies, the notepad is important.
Mind you, Rave's backpack has like a multi-tool in it, like
Any equipment?
small
Any
camping
damn
chair,
equipment keep out of my personal affairs.
Yep.
everything she owns.
Okay, so we are going to fast forward then to the radio station.
Oh, geez. Without our Jenny.
Yeah.
It is fine.
Well, you say that. However, comma, Nate is not prepared for this.
Nate can just roll the dice.
Nate will roll the dice. We know how Nate's dice rolls have gone.
I'm using addicted gambler logic and gonna say then he's due.
I don't know if Mulcav operates that way.
Yeah.
All right. So you get upstairs where Venus is in the anteroom to the studio,
Right.
and she looks happy to see you in one sense, but also she does not look good.
You did hang up on her, kid.
She looks physically not good.
Oh.
Venus.
We never told her about the feeding thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, this is day 8.
Oh no.
I kind of take Venus aside and I ask her, like, how have you been sustaining yourself?
What do you mean, like rent?
Like rent for your body, for your hours, for existing. Basic
I've been
needs.
eating meals, like food.
Have you been keeping them down?
Yeah.
Well, I suggest that I can give you a couple of pints of blood.
She's like, what the fuck?
Yes.
What? Blood?
I honestly think that you require blood in order to not waste away.
I thought she had to help people out.
Does she?
Hold on. What did that book say?
Do I redact my liquid diet?
I was
I'm
like,
trying to check my notes.
The larva must be fed every 10 days by the host, or it will take over a mindless control, seeking a food source, which the host has no control over. If the host feeds the larva before this, it will take over.
What will it feed on?
whatever food source is closest.
So humans, vampires, werewolves.
Blood? Meat?
It doesn't specify the manner of feeding.
I feel like she would instinctually have to do it. But I don't think we could be near her, just to be safe. I suggest Chad.
I second that.
Rave didn't like Chad.
Fuck Chad in his ear hole with a pencil.
Like,
Let instinct take over.
well, she's on like day 8, right? So
She has to feed sooner. She's gonna lose control.
she might lose control during the interview.
Yeah, so
Okay, it does say the larva blowing out more humanoid beings and making their bodies into husks. So, yeah. Someone push Chad in front of her.
Can we? I mean, he's working as well, right? So, can we like summon him?
He is the one who is currently in the recording booth.
Okay.
So as soon as he's done recording.
But Emilio is also there.
Oh.
Then
I will
Someone
task
distracted.
Jeremy, Emilio.
I'm getting T-Pain.
You're tasking Jeremy to take care of Emilio? Distract?
Yeah, I was. I said occupy, but yes,
Distract.
that's fine.
Occupy his time. Somewhere else.
I mean, yeah, just make him not be looking at us or paying any attention to us.
Maybe on a different floor.
Potentially, that would be good. Go and get him some coffee. Take him for coffee.
He's like, okay. That's Emilio right there. And he's pointing to the Ken doll. He's like, is that Emilio? Is that who I'm supposed to?
No, the other guy.
Oh, the producer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Go and talk producerly things.
All right. Well, they're still doing the show, and this is a good time to discuss the setup of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
The anteroom has a glass that is looking into both the producer's studio and the recording booth. The recording booth has one-way glass, one-way mirror, so that anyone that's in the anteroom is not distracting the radio host.
Right.
but people in the anteroom can see what's going on.
Right.
So Emilio can see you. Chad cannot.
Okay.
But Emilio is in the middle of a show at the moment.
Mhm.
That's fine. We'll wait until Emilio is not in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's probably about 15 minutes before he's done.
Mhm.
And you can actually hear the show. And Chad is being very Chad during the show.
Just making Rave not like him even more.
Yep. Nate's right there with you.
Sad part is, like, Rave is the type of person, like, normally, like, no, this is wifey from animals. Humans are okay, I guess. But Chad just rubs her the wrong way.
And then you hear Emilio go, "Good show, Chad, good show."
Mhm.
And Emilio gets up and walks out of the producer's booth and into the ante area with
Mhm.
Venus and the rest of you,
Mhm.
and lets out a huge sigh. He's like, "That guy," and he shakes his head. Have you ever met anyone so full of themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Rave just points towards the booth.
No, and you're thinking, well, earlier this evening, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I didn't eat that.
Mhm.
Everyone, all the people that Diane hates the most.
Mhm.
Interacting within one day.
Does Nate know Emilio?
I'm trying to remember. Emilio was not there that first night.
No, he wasn't.
I think he had already turned in and gone home for the night because it was late.
Yeah.
But Venus was still there because...
Rudy?
Oh, yeah, because Rudy was there
Mm-hmm.
and telling her what to do. Okay.
Okay, so I can't introduce Emilio and Jeremy. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, well, Emilio actually recognizes you because that's the whole reason that you're on the show is because you are...
Oh, right, because I'm famous.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot I was famous.
And he's like, "Oh, Mr. Thomas, it is great to meet you."
Likewise.
And
This is my producer, Jeremy. The two of you might have things to talk about.
yeah, and Jeremy's like, yeah. I have some last minute like retainers and stuff that I need to talk to you about, just to make sure all our T's are crossed and I's are dotted and everything. Can we take 20 minutes? And Amelia was like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, I know the drill." And so they leave, and then Chad comes out, and he looks at you, Nate, and he grins, and his teeth are blinding, and he's like, "Well, hello there, Mr. Thomas. It is great to meet you."
Work.
Hi.
I really wish you had been here earlier. You could have been on my show instead of this Loveline shit. You can actually hear Venus growling.
Yeah, see, that wouldn't have worked for me. Because I straight up don't like you.
What's not to love? I am me.
Yeah.
That's
Take
why.
a look at me. I'm just going to say I've been this way since high school. My kind and your kind, not really chums.
Everyone likes me.
Obviously they don't. I don't.
Neither do I. But I don't matter.
Yeah, he looks over at Rave and he's just like, okay. And turns back to Nate. And Echo also.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
Echo.
We need to remember that Echo's here.
He's like, well, if you reconsider, you know when my show is. And I will catch you later. Chad out.
Not if I catch you first.
Chad out. And he starts heading for the door.
Someone shove Venus at him.
Venus, go.
She's like, what are you talking about?
Just instinct.
She's like, what instinct? What are you talking about?
The power. Just let it do whatever it wants to him.
Use my powers on him? You want me to just like stop him? And let's see. So she is going to roll.
That would be helpful.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I've got it right here. Let's see. Compel. It's a 10 minus 5, so she gets 5 dice. She says, Chad, stay. And he turns around and stands there. But she's still really confused.
Okay.
Because she
maybe?
is not in the loop about what's going on.
Maybe like get closer together and
Ew.
Well, not like that.
I know. Not
Oh God.
We should not be the ones expecting. We don't even know what you're supposed to do.
I am gonna go and throw up.
What are you trying to get me to do?
You need to feed, or you will lose control.
Feed, like...
The power thingy. Like how you hollowed out the people in that center.
Oh, she just drains.
I'm sorry. But you don't want to lose control, do you?
No, but... Oh. Ew. She's like, but he's gonna be missed. And Chad's like, I can hear you. Are you telling her to kill me?
Hey, nobody said that.
What?
That's a lot of assumption that you're making. Nobody said that. No.
I never said anything about killing.
You said have her.
I
And
mean,
then
now
he-
that he's
his
heard
face goes-
that,
His face
Where-
goes blank because he said, you told her to eat me? And now he just leers at her.
you
No, Rave wants to go yak.
Nate passes the waste paper basket to Rave.
Thanks.
She's like, I don't know how to do this. And
We don't know either.
this is a human. You're asking me to...
Okay, so we're just gonna have to wait until it becomes instinct.
What are you talking... Is it... What's going to happen?
You're gonna empty someone out and take a new host. That is basically what's gonna happen.
Not
a new host?
necessarily take a new host, but
she just has to feed and then she can return to her body. At least that's what I remember
Yeah.
from the book.
yeah, she just. So Venus, whether you like it or not, you're going to feed.
But if you lose control, you won't be the one in control.
So you're telling me I am going to eat somebody no matter what?
Yeah, and is he not the lesser of the evils in this case?
She tips her head to the side. And she's like, fair point. I still don't know how to make it happen.
Don't know either. That's why I'm saying try and get closer.
And she's like, looks like she's starting to heave a bit.
This ain't going well.
We will just stand well back from her.
And you can see her eyes start to glow with that ethereal white.
Oh no.
Okay, Venus, you're doing it. We're just gonna...
Good job.
nicely done.
We're proud of you.
Chad, his jaw drops open, and he turns for the door. Before he can do anything, her mouth opens and tendrils of light come out. And they wrap around him and they go into his ears, his nose, his mouth, any orifice they can find.
Gross.
And you watch as his body goes stiff. And then he just falls. And the tendrils retract back into her. And she looks like an entire different person. Well, like Venus, but super vibrant. Super alive.
How you feeling?
Amazing.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
Should I take care of him?
If you wouldn't mind.
Where should I take him?
Does this building have a trash chute?
No, but there is a broom closet around the corner, and we can take care of the body after the show.
All right. So Rave is going to pick him up and take him to the broom closet.
All right. So now you've got Venus completely healthy.
Hooray!
Woo!
And
hooray!
Well,
it was going to happen.
It's on one of us.
And Chad is now completely plastic. Venus is coming down from her high a little bit, and she just plops into one of the chairs in the anteroom. She's just like, what did I just do?
What you needed to survive.
You have a symbiote living in your being, and you can either feed it or you can cease to exist.
And let it take over.
And as she's talking, on the side of her neck, little growth starts to form. It's like a blister.
Oh.
It's like an oval blister. And it grows, and then it stops, and then it cracks open. And it just stays like that.
That's not normal.
At least this is a radio show?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Fascinating. And Nate takes out his phone and starts snapping pictures. I'm gonna need those.
Does that hurt?
Does what hurt?
The neck. Does your neck hurt?
She's like, why would my neck hurt? What's going on?
Just touch it.
She
Yeah.
reaches up to her neck and she finds it, and she just gasps, like, holy fuck, the hell is this? And she pokes it, and it's like it pushes in like it's hard.
Ah.
Gross.
Okay, we're coming up on Sage needing to yak into a waste paper basket now.
You don't. She is like super confused right now. She's like, "Is this gonna happen? How? Okay, tell me the logistics of this. Like, how often?"
Honestly, we don't 100% know, but you probably have about a little over a week between feedings, as it were.
And is this gonna happen every time?
We don't know.
We don't know, but it's possible. Your old body might fall apart.
She is pinching the bridge of her nose with her thumb and forefinger. This is a nightmare. This is a fucking nightmare.
You can say that again.
Well, let's do this radio show and catch the bastard that did this to me.
Let's.
Sweet.
All right. And about that time, just as Venus is pulling out a handkerchief and putting it around her neck like it's a decoration, the Emilio and Jeremy get back. And Jeremy just looks around and doesn't see Chad. And he's like, everything good now?
Yep.
Okay. So he goes into the producer's booth with Emilio, and they hold the door open for the three of you. Not the three of you, but Echo, Nate, and Venus to go in.
Okay.
Everyone gets situated. And it's not long before Welcome, New York, to Love from Venus. And the show is going pretty normally. Echo and Venus are bantering back and forth like besties. And Nate is interjecting here and there as needed. But, you know, it's mostly the Echo and Venus show.
Did they do the call to the friend?
They are about to.
Okay, sorry.
Let's see. A lot of people are calling in and asking for Echo's advice on stuff because the stuff she deals with is a lot in the same realm as what Venus deals with. You know, matters of the heart. But we're going to shift the scene to the anteroom where Rave and Diane are.
Okay.
As you're listening to the show, someone new comes into the anteroom.
Looks at said new person.
She is thick but very well curved.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
She's got dark, straight hair done in like victory rolls. And she is beautiful in the face and body. And she pauses and looks Diane up and down, and then nods, and then looks Rave up and down, and then nods, and does that looking through the windows at the other four. And then she just moves to the side of the room about 5 feet from Diane and just leans against the wall.
Yeah, you're a little early.
Hi.
She's like, don't mind me, I can wait. My name is Raven Montague Toreador.
Well met? Question mark.
We should have a chat when the show is over. Because I am you could say emissary from her daughter. And she nods at Venus.
The one you hung up on? Rave leans over and whispers to Diane.
Now, as a reminder, Aisha, Venus's daughter, works for the CDC.
Right.
How she has a Toreador at her beck and call. Is there anything either of you want to say to her while they're waiting?
She's willing to wait until after the show to hear what she has to say.
Is it appropriate for me to ask the question of what a Toreador is? Rave
Go
leans
for
into
it.
to ask Diane.
Are you asking Diane what a Toreador is?
Well, she's asking if it's okay for her to ask the person who came in. Like, is that socially acceptable?
It might be rude.
But
Just-
Raven chuckles. She's young, isn't she?
She's still learning.
That's cute.
So if you could explain what clan you come from and what that means,
Sure.
that would
Toreador?
help her understand.
Generally, the Toreadors are known for being the most beautiful and stylish of the clans. Yeah, I know. We're talking generalizations here. My clan is also known for being a little full of themselves, but I like to think that I have stepped away from that a little more than most.
Most of them are artists.
Yes.
To some capacity, be it music or painting or radio shows.
Yes. I have not dealt in my pursuits in years now. And she sighs. I miss them. I really do.
Why?
But, work is work. And I work for the government now.
My condolences.
Well, not any government you know of. But anyway, yes, that is what a Toreador is. Generally, most of us side with the Camarilla. But, that's on a kindred by kindred basis. But yes,
Okay.
we generally deal with our power. The powers of the Toreador generally deal with being able to read people and making a splash.
Well put.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that to me.
My pleasure. I don't. I haven't actually trained a newbie in a long time. I haven't seen a newbie in a long time.
Well,
I have a feeling I was supposed to know all of these things a long time ago, but you know, it's fine.
well, you know animals in a way that we don't. So it's not that you are ignorant. It's just that your specialty lies in a different political system. So don't be ashamed. You know, like we all started somewhere.
Yeah.
She's like, I am so happy that you guys are more accommodating than you were with Aisha over the phone, but that whole cease and desist thing, that's for humans. And as soon as you hung up, she had a suspicion that you weren't. So she sent me.
Oh, I see.
It's just to make the humans leave things alone that they shouldn't be diving into.
Sure.
That does make sense.
No,
It's
it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Usually cease and desist telling a human to cease and desist makes them run away in fear.
Sometimes.
Or double down.
Most people, not all, but most of them are leery of getting in the government business.
Yeah, sure.
So you hear over the radio, over the speakers, that the call with Melissa has just ended, who is a friend of Echo's that is part of her church as well.
Sure.
Church in giant quotes.
Church in giant quotes, yeah.
And they are chatting, the three of them, and there is another call. And you see that that Emilio gets his eyes get really wide, and he like waves at them like, this is it.
Okay.
Focus all attention.
And it's Venus goes, hello caller, you're on the air. And the voice says, hey Venus, it's Rudy.
Hooray!
It's been a little bit. I been going around the country, just trying to see what there is out there. And Venus says, I think, my producer's telling me we need to go to break, but we would love to talk to you some more when we come back, if you're available. And then they go to commercial, and she waves Rave and Diane to come into the room.
Right on.
Because they have Rudy on the line.
Yeah.
I am I'm going to attempt to track him if I can via their phones.
Okay. So
You're probably going to want to be in the producer booth for that.
Yeah, probably.
okay. So and they make room for you. Let's see. You should roll
I should roll.
intelligence and tech, whatever it is.
It is
Tech, yes. I can't remember what hunger you're at.
I think I'm still at a 1.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm still at a 1.
So this should be relatively safe.
Oops, those are question marks.
Roll?
Roll. 5 successes.
Okay. As they're talking, you're going to be working on this, but by the end of the conversation, you'll have succeeded
Yay!
in finding out where he is calling from at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got your little computer there too.
I totally make notes.
Yeah. But he's talking to Nate and Echo, and has Rave gone into the room?
Yes, Rave has entered the with Venus and them.
And okay, so Diane, or not Diane, wow, Venus says, okay, we're on commercial, Rudy. Mr. Garland, what did you do to me?
Oh, shit.
Come straight to the point.
I just killed another person. What did you do to me? And he's like, it's all for the glory of Illumina. It is up to you guys to determine what you want to get out of him. So what you want to ask him or anything.
I just went his location.
He's like, and he's like, so why is it you were asking at the beginning of the show for me to call in?
This would be a chance for Nate to ask questions about the book, or possibly arrange a meeting. Possibly.
That is a very good point. Thank you. Sage had kind of checked out. Yeah, so I have one of your prayer books.
We have prayer books?
Oh, hell.
No, he's like, wait, I was thrown into this blind. I don't know anything about prayer books. If we have them, it's not something that has been introduced to me.
That's why I was saying, oh, hell.
How do you
Because
know
if you're blind, then we're blind.
we're even more blind than we were?
And what were you going to say, Rave?
Oh, yeah. Then how are you knowing who to go and what to do?
Oh, that's my personal agenda.
Oh,
I just know that I am supposed to find the ones who are the most worthy.
okay, but how do
someone's
you
worthy?
know?
How does one know anything?
Can we cut the Confucius bullcrap?
Considering that I am under the impression that you're trying to stop me, I would not it would not behoove me to tell you my plans.
I mean, that's fair. I
Get
can't
that.
argue with that.
All I can say for certain is that there is nothing you are producing in this radio show that is enticing me at all.
Good to
That's
know.
fair. Fuck. I don't know.
So where all have you been?
Oh, here and there. I think you've probably seen the news. Considering now that I have looked up Miss Echo and Mr. Thomas, and I know that I saw their faces at the lodge. I know who you all are, and well, not all of you, but I know who I saw, so I know who's after me.
Well, after you in a peaceful manner.
If people were dying, we'd just be like wanting info. I just
No,
want to know why people are dying.
no.
Well, that's why.
Well, but they're not dying. That's the whole thing, right? It's just they're in a coma.
Are they?
They're
No,
brain dead.
They're like dead.
No, they're not dead.
They're
They're
husks.
not dead.
They're not dead.
That's what the book said. They're not dead. And can we stop saying dead, please?
Okay. So are
It's
they?
like that's news to me.
They're only Disney dead.
They're Disney dead, yeah.
Disney dead.
So you are leaving not corpses in your wake, and
So how do you bring them back?
that I hope
We don't know.
I hope that we can come up with that solution together.
Well, I have to finish what I'm doing, and then we can discuss anything you want.
How far are you from finishing?
I've got more stops to make.
Like how many more?
No, that would be telling. I think you will probably be hearing the news pretty soon about my most recent stop. And by the time you hear that news, I will not be there anymore, obviously.
Of course.
Of course.
And he says, it was a pleasure to talk to you, but I really don't want to give away any more than I already have.
Well, we'll always be in contact.
I doubt that.
Mm.
And he hangs up.
Well,
How
Did
long
you get anything?
you got on that commercial?
I got his location.
Yes. And it is in Minnesota. It's a cell tower in Minnesota, very near, just outside the Twin Cities.
Isn't that Echo's old stomping ground?
I believe it is.
Yep.
Hmm. I'm sure I can have my team look into it while he's still there. We have drones.
In South Africa.
In South Africa. However, hijacking a drone in the U.S. is not a big whoop.
Could if Jinne was here, I could just ask Jinne. But could Echo get in contact with their prince to see about
What's to
having
say that kindred aren't targets? I mean,
we
Genevieve.
know they are.
I mean, the book very clearly says that we are a viable food source.
Yeah.
So it is in the prince's interest to try and curtail whatever this is.
I think you guys are right. I think if we can let the Camarilla know as a whole, so that it doesn't matter what city he goes to, we're still waiting for him. It's national news.
Yeah.
And Emilio swings his finger around in a circle, like wrap it up. Because commercial's running out.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's out of the room.
Runs out of the room.
And Venus is like, "Oh, I am sorry, listeners, but Mr. Garland had to run. We only got to talk to him off camera or off radio. But it was a pleasure hearing from him again, the man who saved my life. And with that, I'd like to thank Mr. Thomas and Mrs. Kismet and Melissa. What's her name?
Melissa, what's her name? Yeah.
Dunkirk. Mrs. Dunkirk over in Hollywood for gracing me with the chance to have them on my show. It was a pleasure. And Echo says, "Oh, it was a pleasure being on the show."
Mm-hmm.
And with that, this is Love from Venus signing out. And the radio show goes off the air. And Miss Raven is still sitting in the anteroom.
Oh, so we go to the anteroom where Miss Raven is.
She says, "Was the radio show everything you had hoped it would be?"
It was.
Not a fuck.
I am.
Got in contact, but no info. Not really.
That is unfortunate. As I explained to Miss Aziz here, I work for Aisha. I can't last name anymore.
Okay.
Dupre, yes. I work for Miss Aisha Dupree. With the CDC, sort of. The humans in the booth over there, the two gentlemen, are they part of the masquerade?
One of them is.
All right, we should probably have this conversation somewhere else. And I looked over Miss Dupree, and what I saw was distressing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I read her aura, and that's not human.
Yep.
We know.
Absolutely right.
And that's not anything I've seen ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Miss Dupree will not be pleased to hear this. It's not your fault, as far as I know.
Oh, it's definitely not our fault.
Yeah, we tried to stop it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Venus Dupree is now pulled into a world that Aisha did not want her in.
I mean, we didn't want her in it either.
And she pulls out her attaché case, and from it she pulls, it looks like a laptop, but there are so many more bells and whistles on it. And she says, this is a super encrypted government computer, and I have Aisha waiting to talk to us.
Okay. Do we want to do this here?
Should we slide into like an office or something? Also, I shouldn't forget to grab Chad.
Venus comes out and she says, who is this?
Who, Rave?
No,
Raven.
Raven, yes.
She works with your daughter.
Oh. How is Aisha? And Raven says, oh, she is fine. She has sent me to follow up with this group. We are going to talk to her. And Venus is like, I would love to see my baby's face again.
Mm-hmm.
And Raven says, very well for a short time, but then I will have to ask that you leave the room. She said, and Raven says, is there an office room we can use just so people can be comfortable? And Venus nods and brings you down the hall to another room that's got a conference table and some chairs. And she opens up the laptop and she hits a few keystrokes, and on the screen pops a very stunning young black woman in a hijab.
Mm-hmm.
And Venus is like, baby? We're Baptist. What's that? And Venus says, I have made my own life choices. I've decided on my own what to do and what faith to follow. I would very, very much like you to accept those choices. And Venus is like, yeah, you, if that's what you want to be, it's really good to see you. And they catch up for like 10 minutes. But after that, Raven escorts her out of the room, and it's like, okay, now let us chat. And Aisha's like, okay, so can we have a round of introductions?
I guess.
I am Aisha, and you are...
Nate.
Diane, Aziz.
Rave.
All right.
And Echo.
And Echo. This is Echo.
Invis Echo. She's just an echo of what she used to be.
Walk.
Aisha says, so how is my mother a part of this whole thing?
That is none of your concern, really.
Oh, it's very, very much my concern. This whole thing is my concern. Here, before you get all hangy uppy again, I work for a very, very top secret section of the government that most of the government doesn't know exists, and it's called Project Blackout. you know of the government working with the Vatican on Project First Light. A few of us got together and decided, how about we counteract that? And she says, yes, that does mean I am kindred. I did not want my mother in this life.
He was a victim.
I'll put it to you this way. Rudy Garland is patient 0. Your mother is patient 1.
Fuck. Where did patient 0 get hit? Because of that, I have not been able to figure out.
A little place called Hawkminster Lodge.
And she types in some keys, and she's like, Northern Vermont?
Mhm.
That's the one.
And is it, let me guess, it's cleaned out, isn't it?
Yep.
Fuck. I really need to get my hands on one of those husks.
Hey,
What?
we have one of those.
That
we do
would
have
be
one of those.
indispensable help. Because we are desperately trying to figure out how to counteract this.
We will send him with Raven.
Fantastic.
In the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's like, I will be extremely grateful for that, and I will have Raven give you a way to contact me, because any medical assistance you need in this, I'm a PhD in biology, chemistry, biochem, medicine.
That is much
Dr. Dupre.
appreciated. I will give Raven one of my business cards with my personal line on it, and you can contact me if needed.
Excellent. It was a pleasure to work with you. I don't expect to ever meet you in person. I don't meet other kindred in person.
That's
For
fair.
obvious reasons. Yeah.
She says, yeah, huge reasons. And she actually undoes her hijab. And there is a third eye on her forehead.
Mm.
Cool. Although I suppose Nate should say fascinating.
Yeah, it's dangerous for me to be around other kindred.
Yeah.
That is fair.
So don't be offended if I never want you to come to my lab.
Mm.
No offense taken. I rarely leave Canada, so
Rave
this has
just
been a thing.
slowly raises her hand.
And she says, it was a pleasure talking to you, and I thank you so much for the assistance. And yeah, I would appreciate being kept in the loop on the body count section of things. Because from what you're saying, you are after the cause, and I am after the cure.
That's totally fair, and we will do our best to keep you in the loop.
Excellent. It was a pleasure, and I will be looking forward to our later contact. Good night, friends.
Awesome.
Good night.
Cool. Rave is legit holding her hand up now, though.
Yes, Rave.
This is going to sound insensitive, but one, why is it unsafe for her to be around our kind? Two, cool eye. She has. How?
Rave, we'll discuss it on the plane.
Okay.
It's a long story, and yeah, we'll talk about it later.
And with that, we should probably say we're going back to the plane to end the evening.
Probably.
Yep.
And end the episode.
Dun, 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 dun,
Sounds like
dun.
a plan.
Because it is 6 minutes past.
It is.
So let's get into the end of episode things. How are people doing? What did they like? What did they dislike? And what did they want to see? What are they looking forward to doing in the next chapter? Rave?
Sorry, my roommates were really loud.
Oh,
I liked well, I liked that it was one night.
mm-hmm.
Dislikes, obviously, because Dahlia and Jinne had families
Mm-hmm.
that needed them, so. But would have loved to have had them here, because that would have been a very interesting thing to watch or listen to.
Yeah.
Next week, I'd like to. Oh no! I'm just curious to see what happens next.
Okay. Just general cool.
Yeah.
And who would you give experience to?
I'm gonna say Diane for one, dealing with all of the stuff like with the plane and the tracking, and actually having the conversation with the person stalking us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because rude.
All right. And how about Nate?
So good. We got through a fair amount of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. Just we started late, so we were ending late. And starting late was kind of my fault, so whoopsie doodle. And what I'm looking forward to next episode, I don't know if it's that I'm looking forward to it, but I know that it has to happen. And I kind of want to get it out the way, is Nate has to have a conversation with Philippe that is going to be very interesting, I think. And I am also going to give my point to Diane for general badassery. But only because Raven is not a player, and I can't give experience points to him.
Yeah.
Audience XP.
Audience XP.
Audience XP. Let's see, goods. I think we had some really interesting characters that like we had written off early, and you kind of brought them back, and we got a chance to actually get introduced to them in some manner, shape, or form. I probably burned out the favor from Hadik. That kind of That's both a good and a bad, I think. The bads, I felt like the radio show was rushed in because the people involved in the radio show weren't here.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
So like that was, while I was really looking forward to that talk, I was looking forward to that talk with the players involved.
Yeah.
I think we all were.
So that's my only bad, I think. The thing that I'm looking forward to, she's probably going to make a call to her Baron, and update them on what the fuck is going on. Now that she knows that they actually have more intel than pretty much anybody else. And I'm going to give my ugly to Nate because there was a lot of like, what the fuck, nope going on. But he was a trooper and he didn't run screaming from the room or anything like that. So good on Nate.
Thank you.
All right, and also one experience to everyone, as usual, for getting through the stuff that was scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you all. Is next week good?
So far.
Should be.
All right, we'll see you next week.